Hello and welcome to my first tutorial on conditions and loops in Python. In order to write successful programs, programmers tend to need the ability to check conditions to create loops, or generally change the behaviour of the program according to their needs. The first and simplest conditional statement I will be teaching you today is the if statement. It takes this general form, but before I show you, I'm going to create a new file and close the shell window, and I'm going to save it to Python. Hang on, Python test. Good. Right. But like I said before, it takes this general form, so you do if this is true, do this, else do this. Now this is not what you actually do, obviously, but this is, I guess you could say, pseudocode. There are a few important things to know about writing conditional statements. For example, if statements. The colon is required when doing statements in Python, as well as defining functions or procedures. However, I'll not go over those today. The colon separates the header of the statement from the body, this bit here. Also, for Python to recognise the lines after the if header as part of the statement, you have to indent them as shown. So here, typically this would be 4 spaces, so you do 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I will show you an actual if statement. So this statement will be true, so it doesn't require user input. So I'm going to do colour is equal to red. And if colour, this is to test if colour is equal to red. So if colour is equal to red, print I like the colour red. Right, and I'm also going to print I also like the colour blue. Now, you may have noticed that there isn't an else bit here, like this, because this is always red, so this is always going to be true, this statement here. The variable colour is set to red, and the if statement is saying, if the variable colour is set to red, print I like the colour red, which I've done here. And also print I also like the colour blue. Should the variable colour be set to a different value, the if statement simply won't work. Or if it's set to any other type of string, so if I put blue and try to run that. Right, okay, I just realised what I just did. I put 2 equals instead of 1 equals, because when you're setting a variable, you put 1 equals symbol, and when you're seeing if 2 values are the same, you do 2 equals signs. If I tried to change that to blue or any other type of string, this would not run. No. And if I change this to a different colour or different type of string, it should run. There we go. This is an if-else statement. So I'm going to set var equal to true, and I'm going to test if it is true. So if var equals true, print, actually no, I need to put speech marks here. This will make it a string. Print this is true. And this is what the else statement is used for. Else print this is not true. And when you're testing for different values, you can either put equal sign, bigger than sign, smaller than sign, or you can do not equal to. And these are the most basic of operators. Right, Now with an if else statement, you're basically saying that in case something doesn't match the conditions needed to run the if part of the statement, do something else instead. That's basically how if else statement would work. Now on to chained conditionals. When writing your program, you may find there should be more than two possibilities, and you need to check for two or more conditions. You can do this by using the else if or the elif in your if else statement. Elif is short for else if. This is basically saying that if something doesn't match certain conditions, check if something else matches different or the same conditions, and if none of these match the required conditions, do something else. This is an example of how it can be done. So I can do name is equal to Bob, and I can put print. No, if name is equal to Bob, print hi Bob, and then I will do elif or else if name is equal to Tim, for example, print greetings Tim. Or if I did, or I could do else print hi. So this is saying that, well, basically if you were to ask the user to input their name and it was either Bob or Tim, it would print out either hi Bob or greetings Tim. Remember, however, that you can have more than one elif and can't have more than one if or else. I should also mention nested conditionals, where you put more than one if statement inside another statement. I'm not going to go over them because it's pretty simple, and you should be able to find tutorials all over the internet describing them in more detail than I could do in a small video. But it's basically, you could do if colour equal to red, then test for something else. But this is not what we're going to do. To further advance your knowledge, though, I'm going to gloss over the use of Boolean operators or Boolean operators in if statements. These operators can be and or, but there are others, and they can be found with a simple Google search. These operators can be used if the programmer doesn't want to use else if in their conditional statements, and it's a slightly quicker way of doing it. It's slightly different in how it works, though, and I'll explain with an example in just 1 second. Right, okay. So you can do user input. Well, I'm not going to ask the user to input anything. I'm just going to do the statement. So if user input is equal to 3 and user choice is equal to toast, for example, print you chose 3 and toast. So this print will only run if both of these are true. So the user is input 3 and has put in toast in a string. But if they haven't, you can do else print invalid, and do remember that you have to put in an indent after else or if or elif, because the compiler will then know when to run which bit and whether to run it or not. So that should be it for now in terms of writing if statements. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. I'm going to put a few different types of if statements in just for you to copy if you want to. And remember to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.